Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for watching. If you're new here, my name is Maria. I do DIYs, hauls, reviews, and more. So thank you for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified every time I upload. In today's video, I have two Dollar Tree Farmhouse DIYs. My first DIY is going to be this beautiful windmill decor sign. I will be using this cute windmill I got from Dollar Tree, and I will be using this sign I got back in January. I don't know if you guys remember when Dollar Tree carried the jumbo skewer sticks. Well, I'm going to reuse this one to make the tower, and I will be using two of the regular. If you can't find the jumbo ones, Dollar Tree has dowels you can use instead. I am also using this craft paper I got from Michael's, and they were 4 for $1. Here are the paints I will be using for both of my DIYs, and I got these from Walmart. Okay, now that you have seen all the materials, now let's craft. I'm gonna start by removing the heart from the front of the sign, and I'm going to remove the staples. This had a ribbon and I had removed that a while back, so now that's why it looks like this. Since I'm going to use the back of the sign, I'm going to remove the sticker. Here I'm painting the inside with a Waverly chalk paint in white, but if you're using the craft paper, you can skip this step and don't paint it at all. The reason I'm painting it here is because I did do wood planks, but I messed up so many times that I got frustrated, so that's why I ended up using the craft paper instead. Once I was done doing all the mess I did, I went over the border using the antique wax from the brand Waverly. Now while my sign is drying, I'm going to take my windmill apart, and I'm gonna start by removing the little front part of the windmill. That is going to make it easier for me to take this apart. Using my wire cutters, I just wiggle it a couple of times and then it fell off. Now all I have to do is pull the metal back. Since I will be using the welcome sign as well, I'm going to take it apart. I'm going to do the little tower before I start painting everything. To make that X that goes inside the tower, I will be using one of the skewer sticks, and I'm cutting two of the pieces the same size. I'm going to cut the bottom part, which is going to be a little bit bigger than the top part. For the rest of the tower, I will be using this jumbo skewer stick. Like I said, if you can't find it, you can always use dowels instead. I used my wire cutter to cut them. I tried using the scissors, but it was hard, but the wire cutters does work, and I am cutting them to 7.5 inches. Now I'm going to start painting, and I'm gonna paint everything using the Waverly chalk paint in steel. Next, I will be using the color elephant to distress all the parts. You can leave it the color black as it is. I just want to attempt to make this look galvanized. After that, with the same paintbrush and the color white, I'm going to distress it more. And that's all the painting I will be doing. Next, I'm going to cut this piece of craft paper I got from Michael. I cut it to the size of the inside of the frame, and to glue this, I'm using regular glue. You can use Mod Podge instead. I'm going to start gluing everything together, and I'm going to start with the tower. I'm using the hot glue. Since the windmill doesn't fit inside the frame, I'm going to use the blades to glue the blades to the frame. To be able to glue the welcome sign underneath, I'm using this Jenga block. I'm going to glue it and leaving a small space so I can be able to glue the welcome right on top of it. I added jute string in between the welcome sign and the frame to cover some of the glue. I also added some jute string to the back so I can be able to hang it. And that is it for this sign. I absolutely love how this turned out. My second DIY is this farm sign. I love it. It goes so much with all of the farm things I've been doing, like the sliding doors and the window shutter. For this project, you can use this Easter greeting sign, but I am using this love sign I got last year. It's the same size. I will be using the back of the sign, and I'm going to paint it white. I'm only doing one coat of paint, and once all the paint is distributed, I brushed it back and forth all the way through so I can leave the lines like this. Now I'm going to add some wood planks to my sign, and I didn't mess this one up. I'm going to start distressing it using the Waverly chalk paint in Elephant. Now that I'm looking at the footage, I should have left the lines alone, but I didn't, and I added black using the apple barrel acrylic paint in jet black. The lines came out way too thick. I fixed them using the white paint, and I'm going to try to make them thinner. I don't know what was happening to me that day, so I left it like that before I messed it up. For the barn, I used this garden stake I got from Dollar General, and I'm going to remove the stake, the tag, and the little hook. This little barn is already pretty as it is, but I wanted mine without the words and the red, so I decided to paint it over using the Waverly chalk paint in steel. I'm going to distress it using the Elephant chalk paint. With the same paint but a different paintbrush, I'm going to underline the roof. I'm going to paint the windows back, but mine are going to be a little bit different. And as you can see, I made them too big, but I'm going to fix them using the steel color. I wanted to add black, so I underlined the roof border and the windows. I was going to remove the rooster because I didn't like how it looked, but then it grew on me, so I ended up leaving it and just painting it black. I'm going to make the borders of the windows a little bit thicker. Then I'm going to add excess. I'm going to make the doors, and I'm going to do them just like the ones the original picture had. I'm using the color Elephant, and then I'm going to do some little triangles with black. And I underlined the doors. I didn't like how the doors look plain gray, so I decided to distress them a little using the steel color to make them look a little bit more galvanized. I also decided to distress the barn a little bit more, and I used the Waverly chalk and elephant, and I added a little bit more of the white. I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to work on the fence. And for the fence, I'm going to use the regular popsicle sticks Dollar Tree carries, and I'm using 13 in total, but I am only cutting 5 in half to make 10 picket fence. And they're gonna look like this. With that antique wax, I'm going to stain all of the parts of the fence. I'm only using a little bit of the wax so they can turn this color. I absolutely love the color they turned out. Now I'm going to start gluing everything to the sign, and I'm going to start with the barn. I'm going to use one of the popsicle sticks and glue it in the middle. Now I'm going to make the fence, and I'm going to glue 3 popsicles on each side, leaving a little space in between. Next, I'm going to start gluing the picket fence, and I'm gluing 5 on each side, leaving a little space in between them and leaving a space in between the 5 so I can put the barn. Once they're all glued, I'm going to cut the last popsicle stick in half and glue 1 on each side of the middle popsicle stick. Since this is metal, I use some hot glue and the E6000 glue because I had first used the hot glue and then I came back to it a couple of hours later and the barn had popped off, so I added some E6000 to it. For the word farm, I will be using these poster stickers Dollar Tree has. I'm going to start arranging them, and I'm not going to press on them, just slightly put them on top of the sign because these stickers are really hard to work with once they're glued. Because I arranged them so many different ways, they lost the adhesive, so I had to use some Mod Podge. I decided to add some greenery, so I'm using 2 stems of the eucalyptus I got from Walmart, and I'm gluing them 1 on each side using my hot glue. After that, I'm going to glue the bow I took off of one of my signs, and I'm going to glue it in between them. The last thing I will be doing is adding the jute string back to the sign so I can be able to hang it. And that is it for my second DIY. I absolutely love how this turned out, and it was so inexpensive to make. And that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Bye.